Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the journal making 101 series, the cover. Last time round we made the base, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was informative and you were able to follow along, and if you did, we're going to be taking this today's video and covering it. I've got some fabrics and I've got some autumn digitals that I've been printing out that we can collage on. So yeah, let's get creating the cover. So how are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks very much for watching this series. Okay, now I covered, we made this one in the video, and then I just went ahead and covered the second one in the backing paper as well. So I've actually got the two that we made plus this one that I was demonstrating with, to see if we can actually get covered. So I'm going to put my digitals to one side for the moment and focus on the fabric. Now this is just an offcut of some upholstery material that I've got, so I'm hoping that this is going to be, probably have to turn it that way, but it's going to be big enough for one of the journals. So let's have a look. Yeah, because I want to be able to fold over the edges on it. So I think if I'm just going to turn my board over, I always cut my fabric on this side. I don't know why, I just do. I think it's because this side, the white side, is so mucky and everything. I just tend to put the fabric on this side to cut. So yeah, basically for this video you need the covers that we made in part 1, some fabric of your choice for covering, and I'm going to do a collage one as well, so just some digitals of whatever pattern you like. So let's put these to one side for the moment. I've got my rotary cutter here that I use only for fabric, and I've also got my old dressmaking metric grader square from my college days that I still use, because this is quite nice to use the edge on here so that I can line up the marks here, and then I know exactly 5 centimeters to the edge here. I use this quite a lot now in my journal making. Just going to turn my board this way so that I can go the full length of the paper, of the fabric that we need. Now we don't want to come up too much. I think coming up about roughly about that much I think would be good, and then that gets folded in. We're going to have the boards on there, and then I'll decide on what I'm going to be putting in the middle there afterwards. So okay, I don't think I need to cut this side, I think I need to cut this side. There we go. And if I just roughly, you don't need all of that, do we? That's going to be about 5 centimeter overlap. Just kind of get that straight, and then I'm just going to use my guides here. So basically, if you've got a ruler of any kind, and you want to cut your material, you just need enough to flap over. I give myself a good 5 centimeters to flap over. That's probably way more than enough, but then that way I can decide on the square of in a baseboard that I'm going to be inserting in afterwards, and I haven't got to worry about only having like a centimeter or an inch or so flap. So that's just how I always tend to give myself way more than I need. So I'm just going to move this down to the edge here and start cutting this. Yeah, we're all still in camera. I don't know how. It should. It's because it's upholstery. It's a bit. Let's move it down like that, and then put this on here again. And measure. I know there's people out there that have got quilters rulers that they use, the plastic rulers. To be honest, you just need any ruler and any item that you can cut the fabric with. You could cut it with scissors if you really wanted to, and basically what you're looking to do is have a piece of material that gives you a border around here that you can then flap over like we did the inner cover here on that. So that's that one done. Let's go ahead and stick it down. I'm just going to move this back this side so that we can do the gluing. And the glue just goes on this front outer side, and my glue of choice is Fabri-Tac glue for fabric, but anything that will adhere fabric, you can use that glue. And because I most probably will stitch around, all I'm going to do is just basically use a thin amount of the glue on the middle bit like this, just to tack it in place on this outer side anyway. Because we're flapping them over, we don't necessarily need to oops, there, that's about centre, make it stick strongly on here. So that just covers that and sticks it to it. Now this material looks like it's fraying quite a bit, so I'm just going to make sure any of these threads are all off before we fold over. There we go. I do sometimes leave the raw edges, especially when I'm doing the other journals that have the that use an envelope as the base of the journal. I keep the frayed edges because I do like to see the frayed edges, but I just want to get rid of these bits. I might have to cut that, I think. It's not coming off. There we go. Just snip these as well. There we go. Now with folding it over, I do the same principle as I did with the paper and cut the corners. I'm just going to use my big fabric scissors for these. Again, these are so old, these scissors. I had them, I'm surprised they're still sharp, because these were from my dressmaking days. I didn't quite get in there. As I said, we're going to put covers on them anyway, so let's do this one. So this process is quite simple. Just choosing your fabric, making sure you've got enough to overlap the fabric over the corners, and then folding it up and covering it like we did the paper in video 1. Now in the first video I mited even those middle bits here. This time round I'm not going to, because I want this bit covered up as well. So let's just put my scissors back. So what we now need to do is tuck these over and glue them down. So I'm just going to put a glue page under here, and again I'll use the Fabri-Tac glue. I've got my little card, and then I'm just going to run Fabri-Tac all along here. I haven't gone right to the edge because I'm going to do a bead of glue on this edge here. And this is the bit that I want more glue on, so that it sticks itself down really nicely. I'm just going to turn it this way so I'm working on my right side, and it's the same principle. I just do that and make sure it's all glued down. On here nicely. As I said, the other side was just to hold it in place so that we could do this bit nicely. There. Okay, let's put glue this end. So let me know in the comments below if you're following along and you're making a journal with me. What style of journal are you making? You know, sort of what colours are you using? Are you using digitals to cover it, or have you got some lovely fabric? Right, same as that side, just and that. Nice and smooth on there. So now we want to do the big bit. Let's just bring in another glue page, and then we can work along that edge. Okay. Right, let's do this. I start in the middle. As I said, I'm not too fussed with the how neat the corners are if you've got a bit of fabric fraying out, because I'm going to put the corners, couldn't think of the word for a minute then, the corners in. So that's all that nicely covered. Flip it over and we will do this side. This Fabri-Tac, it's a fairly new bottle. I finally used up that other one that was causing me grief, and this just comes out so easy. So yeah, I think it must have just been a rogue bottle that was really thick from the start. This comes out really easy now, how it should do. So I'm much happier. Okay. Make sure that's all in there, and I'm just sort of using this to help score down that fabric in there. And that, I mean, you could have ironed it if you wanted to, but to be perfectly honest, I wasn't too worried about that because it's going to have a motif and stuff on the front. But that is my first cover done. That was nice and simple and quick to do. As I said, I don't tend to measure this bit out with the material, as long as I've got a decent amount to overlap on all 4 sides of the journal, so that when we put our board in here, it's all, most of it's all covered. If I'd have thought about it, actually I should have done that way around, but that's fine, it doesn't matter, you can do it anyway. So let's lay this to the side. Yeah, only 15 minutes, so let's bring in the next bit of material. This one's definitely more autumnal. Let's put the lid on my Fabri-Tac glue. Looking at that offcut, so again, this is some nice upholstery fabric that is just an offcut of it. You can get fabrics from charity shops or thrift stores, I think you tend to call them in America, or you can use clothes or clothing, anything really, any bit of fabric that you like. So we're going to do exactly the same again, and I think all we need to do is just cut a bit off this side. So let's turn that way, lay this on here, and we can just have a little look at what we've got this side. We've got about 4.5 centimeters that side and about 4 that side, so we can just nudge it up a little bit. If we make sure we've got about the same, just over 4.5 there. As I said, I don't often measure it, but you get a rough rectangular shape with similar even amount either side here and either side top and bottom, which for me that's about 4 centimeters with this one. So I'm just going to use my rotary cutter and move it up. There we go. And those will keep for belly bands or other bits. Right, let's cover that up. So that's this one done. I'm just going to move this and the fabric to one side because we've finished with that now. Flip this back over. And we're ready to glue this one in place. Okay. Put some bit of glue on here. This time I'm just, you can put it any which way, I'm just going to do it a bit on the spine, and yeah. And put it on there, and then roughly look to make sure it eyeball in the centre of it basically, which I think is about there. Turn it over and then I just smooth out that side. There we go. So we need to cut the other side now. As it's the upholstery fabric, I need to cut, use these big scissors again. Oh, they're so heavy, these ones, but they are still so sharp. Brilliant they are. But as I said, I don't do much dressmaking nowadays. I at all. The last thing I made myself was about 8 years, so we've been married 8 years, yeah, my wedding dress 8 years ago. I made, and I haven't done anything since. So I do still, I'm still very interested in the dressmaking and stuff. I've just been watching the Great British Sewing Bee on telly. Absolutely love it. So still very much into the sewing, but I've got hooked on this junk journaling and paper crafting, and that's where my creativity is focusing at the moment. So I'm going to do the long bit this time and fold this over and then flip that bit over that way. See how we're doing for time. Yeah, not too bad, 20 minutes. Okay, so the Fabri-Tac glue all along here, on here, and then we just put some in the middle here, and then a nice bead all the way along here. Now if you don't, you can use your bone folder, I suppose, for this bit, just to sort of like pull it over. It's just basically anything that will give you that smooth edge to glue it down. Okay, that looks like that's on there nicely. So let's flip that round and do this side. So yeah, we will have 2 of the outside covers done on these journals, and then I'm going to do some collaging on the next one. I'll check my time. I might have to get started and then speed the collage up so that I can give you the video's not too long. That's gone on nicely. There. Okay, so we just need to do the 2 ends now. Yeah. It's nice and smooth on there. As I say, the ends are a little bit where it's frayed there, but we're going to put book corners on, so I really don't mind at all with that. So let's do this side. Okay. And there we go. It's, that's number 2 covered, ready. And then, as I said, stage 3 is working on the inside. So let's see how we're doing on time. 25 minutes. We can make a start on the collage. I don't need my fabric tack. I want Britstick. So turn it over this side. And these are just they're vintage by me. That's who it is. Some digitals that she's autumn digitals. I've just printed them all off. What would we like? I just printed onto copier paper with these. I quite like those. Oh, they're both the same, aren't they? Yeah, I quite like this colour, so we'll start with this one. I'm just going to get my tear ruler and tear these bits down, tear the white bits off. Okay, so I think I'm going to tear it down here and tear it here, and then what I'm going to do is it can just go over the corner. We'll cut it and fold it, I think, like that. Okay, so let's get gluing this bit down. And then we can, I think I'll just use, try not to think too much about it and just use all sorts of different digitals. Prints. There we go. So I just need to cut there and cut there. And where's my little thingy? I'll just tuck this one over. And tuck that one over. Make sure it's glued down on this side too. Lovely. Okay, so shall we use this other bit? Maybe there. Or do we want? Yeah, we'll just use it in the opposite corner, I think. So, oops. There we go. Okay, let's miter these little bits. Get that off my finger. That one, and make sure this is all glued down. There we go. What other one do we want to use? Let's try. Quite like some of these, so let's move that out so that I can tear this easier. Okay. Oops, it moved. And then this bottom bit. Then I think what I will do is, I think I might like a bit of this along that top bit, so I am just going to do it there, and then this piece I'm going to overlap and I'm going to put along there, I think. And like so, and then I'm just going to fold this over. Just the same as we did the fabric. There we go, and this is all done there. Lovely. Okay, and okay, let's have a look and see what else we've got. There's something with a bit more colour. That's similar to that one. How about this one? This has got some nice oranges on it, hasn't it? So let's just take the white edges off of this. I'll leave the link. Well, I don't know. I can't leave the link, but I can leave the description and the name. I haven't got enough. I don't know if it's enough subscribers or content or anything yet to start officially linking people and YouTubes and stuff in my comment section, but I will put in the description whose digitals these are. I'm thinking I might just use this text all the way down that centerpiece. So I've got like that. We don't need it that long to tuck over, do we? Probably only about there. Okay. So let's glue this in place. And all I'm doing is, just because you get a bit of a lip here, is I'm just working that into the grooves there so that it forms a nice finish on the paper. Lovely. What do we want now? Do we want a piece of this maybe up in the corner? Yeah, I think we perhaps do. Some orange there. So if we go like that. Yeah. I don't cover the inside of these journals or anything yet, because we're doing the inserts inside them, so I want to focus on that bit first. But I like to cover the outside, get that all done and finished, then we can work on the inside of the journal and decide on how that's being covered and everything, which that's video 3. Okay, and I'm wondering if we could just use a piece of this. So I might use the whole piece on there because then it can flap over. Right, let me get a second glue sheet. That's going to be a bit gluey. Clumsy with my glue now. That's because I've already done a video this morning. I'm doing this one this afternoon, so I'm all a bit fingers and thumbs. Right, so we need a good amount overlapping. Just do that, and then we will cut my little notches out the corners. Okay, so we just need to patch it in places now, don't we? So let's have a look and see. I saw some with owls on when I was flipping through. Here we go. How cute are those little owls? I think they're lovely. So I'm going to see if we can put a bit of this on the front of the cover. I don't know which kit, digital kit, or even if I'm going to just do random pages to make these journals up yet, but I just wanted to show the process step by step for the covers. And then what I'm thinking is, if you like this, we will do step by step putting the pages and everything in, and I'll actually show you how I sew the signatures in. I know there's so many videos out there of people doing similar back to basic videos and everything, but I know my viewers were asking you know, how I do this, so right, I'm thinking if we take about there, and then that can sit in that little gap just nicely there, and while we're ripping it up, maybe we could have him there, because that bit can tuck over then, can't it? Okay, so let's glue this little one in. And we're just going to go there, I think. Oops, I've got a crease in that. There. This long bit on the back. I know I'm making scraps to collage this, but because it's autumn, I don't have too many scraps anyway, so I'm happy just to go straight into making new scraps, because when autumn I start doing more of the autumn makes, the scrap bits that I'm creating from this I can easily use. Okay, so that's what we've got there. We just need a couple of bits here and then a bit more on the back. So let's move that glue page over to dry. Let's have a little look. We haven't got any mushrooms. Let's see if we've got some with mushrooms. That one's got a mix of them. I want mushrooms to stand out quite a bit. There we go. There's some there with mushrooms. Oh, that's got mushrooms on it. Okay. What do we want to use? I'm looking at this bit. That white off and then see them in the bin. See how where's the folds there. So I'll cover up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that bit there, and then this bit, we don't need all of that, can go there. Okay. Just checking the time. Oh, we're coming up to time before my video. Hopefully it won't cut out on me. Oops. Okay. Just want to make sure that's not, no, it's not on the spine. I always like to have a wider piece on the spine so that when you bend it, it's not going to pull the paper up. You've got a nice neat bend there. Okay, so this bit's going on the other side. I'm trying to go quickly now so that I don't run out of SD card on my phone and can bring the, oh, Jen, that's what you get for going fast. Right, let's put this on here. I won't get too close there. Let's see what, I mean, that's going to do that. I didn't think, did I? It's because I'm rushing. Never mind, I'm going to probably put some fabric lace on the spine. So if you ever do anything like that, because that's just going to keep catching and coming up, lace on the spine can easily fix it, or put another piece of another piece on there. I'm wondering if we could just put that there. Yep, why not? Let's use that. Oh, clumsy. There we go. That's there. That tucks over there. Okay. Got a few more minutes. How about some of these? That would be nice just there. Yeah. just need some spots here. I really wanted to try and use a bit more mushrooms on here. I do like mushrooms. Fortunately, I don't like mushrooms to eat. I really just cannot stand the slippery mushrooms. But I really, really do absolutely love mushrooms in the forest and everything. I think what I'm actually going to do, because I don't really want to cover him up, I think those eyes peeking like they are just adorable. So I'm going to put this piece here, and then we'll find a tiny little piece to go on there. Yeah, I love the mushrooms in the forest when you look at the natural settings and what they do with their, is it mycelial network, I think that's how you say it. I just think they're absolutely amazing little creations. Okay, that can tuck over there nicely. And then we just need a small little bit, which I think we will cut from here. We only need it to be like so. And I'm just going to put that across there like so. And then this is done on the outside. And as I said, I don't do the inside yet until I've actually made the bases and I know how I'm doing it then. So let's pop you just there so that we can still see that little owl peeking out. So there we go. That's the one collaged. So exactly the same in that I've given myself a lip all the way round because we're going to do some bases there. So that's the collaged one. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit more before I properly fold it in half. But this is all done now. And this one, yeah, it's lovely fabric, all covered. And then we've got this one, which I'm thinking I might use this towards a ocean sea theme. This colour is quite a nice colour for that. But that's part 2, where we are basically covering the outside of the journals. Part 3 will be when we start to construct the flip-flap inserts for front and back of the journal. That's what I'm calling them, flip-flap inserts, because we create the base and then we'll add in all the flips and decide how we want them. So there'll be a lot of measuring and attaching things in the next video. But yeah, this is step 2. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching this series. I hope you get some inspiration from it, maybe even crafting along with me as we make these journals. That would be great. Anyway, you take care and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.